All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people, just like you and just like me. So, David Lee Roth apparently honored, that's the way it's being reported, he honored Eddie Van Halen at the MTV Music Awards, MTV Video Music Awards. Okay, so they're still doing videos. I was under the impression that stuff had ended like 20 years ago, if not longer. Wasn't it like a reality TV channel? And it's funny how the rock community didn't really care. They're like, wow, gee, it's kind of sad that music videos aren't really a thing, even though everybody still does music videos, right? I mean, go on YouTube and you'll find everybody's music video, but you won't find a channel that kind of puts it all together the way MTV did some 40 years ago, launched 40 years ago this year back on August 1st. So that was kind of a big anniversary for a few folks that remembered actually watching it the first day. Anyway, that's probably the topic for another video. So Roth is out there saying this weird stuff, like he always does. Like, I lost my guitar player. My guitar player passed away, meaning that Ed was his guitar player. Okay, whatever, dude. He was Van Halen's guitar player. You were in the band. You were out of the band. You were in the band. Needless to say, he's kind of taking ownership. You know, remember, David Lee Roth is Van Halen de facto. We heard that prior to Ed's passing, so Dave knew what was going on. And what's weird is that Dave still hasn't really eulogized Eddie. And I keep saying this because, you know, you would expect more than, you know, he's in heaven. This is what he said on the red carpet, apparently. He said, you know, Ed's either in heaven raising hell, or he's in hell, consequently meaning he's in heaven. Okay. Again, the comments are supposed to be provocative to say that hell is a better place than heaven. And I'm whatever, you know, it's just, this is the stuff that kind of gave rock and roll a bad name, probably starting in the 1960s and moving forward, especially in the 1980s, where this stuff was used as gimmickry. You know, you had the devil horns, you had the Dio devil horns, and you know, whatever, you know, if this is the stuff that you really want rock and roll to be about, then whatever. You know, here's the thing. Rock and roll certainly doesn't have a rebellious spirit anymore, like an honest rebellious spirit, not just some sort of, you know, homage to, you know, the place down under, right? And I'm not talking about Australia, although there are a lot of things happening in Australia right now. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not saying Australia is hell. Just saying there are a lot of crazy things happening there right now. Anyway, so Roth being the spirit, he says, of Eddie Van Halen, that Eddie would want me to say it that way, and that he's carrying on the torch. Where is he carrying the torch to? I mean, and do you do it by not being able to sing the songs that you look? Here's my take on what's happening to geezer rock. I'm going to call it geezer rock and roll. And by the way, I put myself in the geezer category. I don't want to be in that category, but you know, let's just be honest. I mean, the kids are already making fun of you. You're listening to what? You know, I'm made fun of because I'm listening to Aerosmith, and my kid says to me, why does he sound like that? Who, Steven Tyler? He sounds like that because he's actually singing, and he's got a very distinctive, raspy, bluesy kind of voice. Whereas singers today don't have that kind of voice. And if you're David Lee Roth, you don't have any voice, really. I mean, you do, but you pretend that it's the same voice you had 40 years ago, and it's not. And this is the whole premise of everything. Keep my name in the news. And these news outlets who supposedly report on classic rock, right? They're all like, Dave honors Eddie Van Halen at the MTV Video Music Awards. I don't know if that's honoring. Say that, we lost, instead of saying we lost my guitarist, how about say we lost the world's greatest guitarist? And of course, I'm throwing that out there as just being provocative, because some people would say it's Eric Clapton, although these days they won't say it's Eric Clapton, because Eric Clapton is the worst person in the world right now, because he had a reaction to the thing. And, he went out there and told people that he doesn't want to play segregated concerts, and he doesn't think that maybe you should, he thinks you should actually think for yourself and do some research. So at that point, he's now the worst person in the world, because he's not towing like the New World Order. You know what I mean? He's just not doing that. So whereas David Lee Roth is this guy who will carry water for that agenda all day long, so it's really about a guy who's trying to remain relevant. He's trying to be the guy who's carrying the torch, right? I'm the spirit. I'm the guy who's going to keep this thing going. Whereas Sammy Hagar is doing this every single day. Sammy Hagar is your true Van Halen representative. And even Mitch Malloy, who's doing a concert in Destin, Florida, I mean, that's going to be closer to Van Halen, I think, than even Sammy. And tickets for that event are on sale. So if you're interested in seeing Mitch Malloy and his Van Halen experience, you should check that out. In the meantime, you got Dave on the red carpet, just being Dave. And we can all just attribute it to, Dave's personality. And obviously, you want to keep your name in the news. The geezers, they want to keep being geezers. They don't really want to do any work anymore. And if they can't actually do what they used to do, they should probably come up with something else. Do a speaking tour or something. Sit down and tell audiences about what it was like to be in Van Halen. Maybe talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff. Maybe people would pay for that. I'd be more willing to pay for that than a really bad show where nothing sounds like it used to sound, and you're just lying to yourself. You're sitting there going, yes, this is really good. I'm so happy I'm here. And I'm thinking to myself, no, this isn't really good. And I paid way too much for these tickets, and I wish I was home right now on the couch watching one of my favorite shows, or, watching a DVD or something from 40 years ago where I could go, wow, that was once a great rock band, really was, but not so much anymore. We're just fooling ourselves, to quote Styx. We're just fooling ourselves. Anyway, or fooling yourself. Yes. Anyway, I'm done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon.